What's up, everyone? This is your favorite Barista Sports Talk coming to you live and uncut, and as always, unfiltered. And today, straight from the kitchen, and we're going to sit down and have a nice little breakfast with your favorite barista today as we brew up some conversation regarding the NBA and the NFL. Um, and we'll just touch base with the Phillies real quick. Great hire after your debacle of a press conference to come back and hire a guy that everyone in town wanted to hire. Uh, Great pick. But the next two decisions that should be made should be with, Girardi's bosses above him. um, they should be the first two that should be gone immediately with Girardi on the job. So that real quick, until that happens, I'm still out on the Phillies. Um, even those two individuals weren't pushing for Girardi to be your manager of the Phillies anyway. That's a problem. So when are they going to leave? Tomorrow? The next day? Next year? Till that happens, sayonara. With that being said, let's talk about some NBA. Obviously, the Sixers played. They kicked off their season already. Um, I went into it a little excited, and I was I couldn't wait to see what this year's team had in store, who they were going to be, and now since the game is now gone and they went on and won the game, and I can sit back and I can think about what I watched. You know, I see another team built that's going to win games in the regular season. But at the end of the day, when you get into the playoff time, you might win your first round series. I give you that. But beyond that, are you really going to win with this team? A team that can't score? Oh, it's great that all you guys are above 6'6", and it's the tallest starting five that in recent memory, and that's all great. And Matisse Thybulle coming off the bench, and he shows, like I told you, fans out there, that he's going to be a good piece to the defensive side of the ball here. But it goes back to the offense. You know, we're going to expect to play bully ball all year, and again, you're going to beat these teams in the East. You might beat some of the teams in the West, but again, playoff time, and you need the last 5 minutes of the game, and you have to get a shot, make a shot, create a shot. Who's doing that on this Sixers team? You know, you're not going to win with a point guard that can't shoot. End of story. You know, because now just the first game of the year was a blueprint on how teams are going to play, especially in games where they matter. You throw the ball down on the block to Embiid or Horford, and the teams are going to come down with a double. And we're standing Horford out at the 3-point line, shooting flat-footed threes, and then you flip it around. He's going to be guarding more athletic fours at the position that he's out there playing. So that's a deficiency right there. And then the outside shooting, outside of Tobias Harris, who has to take some more shots, has to get more involved, has to take on a bigger ownership of the offense. But we're relying on him and his outside shooting. Outside of that, I ask you out there, who else is on this team is going to make shots? Are we relying on Richardson? Are we relying on Ben Simmons? Our big fella doesn't care for taking shots. If he's standing outside behind the 3-point line, he's going to fire it. So, are we going to rely on Embiid to be our second best 3-point shooter? So I'm just, the excitement was there, but for this team, and after seeing what they put out there and how this team is going to play and what their, you know, what their objective is on the offensive side of the ball, I get it, and then I don't get it. You know, we're playing. It for the life of me, I can't figure out why in a generation in a time of where basketball is space and pace and nothing but 3-point shooting, we go ahead and watch other games around the NBA, and you can pretty soon watch a college basketball game, and they'll do the same thing. In a generation now where basketball is shooting, and that's the most prevalent piece to the whole puzzle, is a team that can shoot, gotta shoot it. Your analytic people will tell you shoot the three, just like the Houston Rockets. Shoot the three, shoot the three, shoot the three. And now we're going to play like we're back in 1985, where Brown is coaching with the San Antonio Spurs, and we're going to play where he was coaching with Tim Duncan and David Robinson. We're going to throw down. We're going to slow the ball. We're going to slow the pace down. We're going to try to establish our bigs on the block, and we're going to score from foul line in instead of foul line out, with a point guard that still can shoot, and not only that, won't shoot. So that's fine. So for everyone out there that is happy and all giddy about this team, go ahead, be happy, be giddy. You know, buy your tickets, buy your popcorn when you're there at the game. Buy all your beer, buy all your merchandise, buy everything that you want, and enjoy the wins in the regular season. But when the time comes to where you have to win games in the postseason, this team isn't going to get it done. They're going to let you down. They're being hyped, just like this Eagles team was hyped about being one of the Super Bowl contenders, having one of the deepest rosters in the NFL. This is going to, we're back. We're back to now being where we left off in 2017 with the Eagles team. We are now pumping this Sixers team up to be the next best thing since, the last good teams here with the 76ers, and that was Maurice Cheeks and Moses. You have Charles Barkley out there saying the same thing. I'm guaranteeing this Sixers team in the finals. Okay. All right. Well, you can go off of the size. You could go off the athleticism. You could go off. You could go off. You like our players. You like our young players. You could look at our young players compared to the teams in the East. I give you all that. But this team isn't built to shoot, and that's a major problem. And especially if you're going to be posting up your two bigs, I don't care if it's Embiid or Al Horford. Teams are going to send the double. So then when we look at the other teams across the NBA, I first have to talk about the LA Clippers. You know, not only with the way they played against the Lakers and beat them, they go into a new building with the Golden State Warriors last night and completely, the score doesn't indicate how bad they beat that Golden State Warrior team. That team is good. They have a star player, if not the best player in the NBA. They have another star player that's not even playing yet. They have guys that fill roles. They have shooting. They have rebounding. They have toughness. They play D. They have a bench. They're deep. They can bring guy after guy after guy off the bench, and they produce, and then they can score, and they can shoot. That team is good. And wait till they get their next second star back, they're going to even be better. So I love the Clippers. I think the Clippers are the team to beat. I watched Golden State too, and I have to be honest, they're in a world of trouble. That for a team that You have Steph, you have Draymond, you have Russell, and then you have a bunch of D-League guys running around. With Klay Thompson being out, they're in a world of trouble. And people were going to say, oh, well, I'm trying to tell you out there, oh, well, they're going to be the seventh seed or eighth seed, fight for the sixth seed. To be honest, they don't even look like a playoff team, to be honest. They're going to be struggling to win games. And they're one serious injury away. Not even serious. I would say one injury away from one of those three major players, Green, Curry, and Russell. And they're done. They're done. Because that team's going to struggle to win games. I don't know who they're going to beat. They're going to have to outscore you night in and night out to even compete. Watch the Rockets. It's the same offense that it's been. And you take CP3 out and you add in Westbrook, and it's just a more athletic, more dynamic guard. I get it, but it's the same. It's the same offense. It's the same team. If not lacking one or two other pieces now, more prevalent, more reliant on the PJ Tuckers now to score instead of you know uh, having someone else take as many shots. He was good in a role. Now his role is bigger. It's the same offense. Play the team plays no D. Showed it last night. They were up 16 at home in your opener, and you can't put the Bucks away. Flipping around, one of the teams that Philly's going to have to worry about is Milwaukee, and again, it's another team that I was excited to see, and I have to be honest, unless the Greek Freak is just completely unstoppable, I don't see how that team is going to be either. With him playing 1 against 5 and all his catches coming up at the top post, right above the foul line in the middle of the court. You're feeding him the ball and you're telling him to go 1 against 5. Now, Charles Barkley highlighted that last night. Not to piggyback on him, but let's just be honest. We're going to expect the Milwaukee Bucks to beat you, relying on the Greek Freak catching all his catches above the foul line, say at 18 feet, even up at the 3-point line, and saying, you know what, we're going to space out the other four guys on the floor, and we're going to allow him. We're going to free up the paint, and we're going to allow him to go 1-on-1 the whole game. If that's what you want to do, then so be it. Good luck. You tell me. Don't come crying when you lose the Greek Freak and he's playing for, say, the LA Lakers next year. Don't be crying because you couldn't win with the Greek Freak because you're throwing him the ball and you're going 1 against 5, and that's your only offense. Good luck to you, Milwaukee Bucks. Who else do we have? We have the Indiana Pacers. The first game out, they played the Detroit Pistons, another team that it has Victor Oladipo coming back, has Malcolm Brogdon now playing at guard, a guy that they bought from the Milwaukee Bucks. You steal him from a division rival. Great pickup. But yet you show up on opening night and you let the Detroit Pistons not only win, you let Luke Kennard go for 30 off the bench. And I'm supposed to sit here and buy into you. I'm supposed to sit here and talk you up. I'm supposed to sit here and expect you to now compete for the Eastern Conference Final. Good luck. And then you have your Boston Celtics. It was just in my mind, it was just a team trying to figure out who they are. They're going through a transition. different guys, new faces. You can make the case better quality guys in the locker room. They want to play a certain way. They want to play quicker. They want to shoot. Um, they still have their great coach with them. And then they miss almost 50% of their foul shots against Philly on the road. And on the road and missing foul shots, that's a recipe right there in basketball, people. That's how you lose games. And guess what? They lost. So that was one little telltale sign that they weren't going to win that game, even though they kept it close. They were right there with Philly, but they just couldn't make a foul shot. And and again, for a team that's big and athletic, and you hear that they want to defend, but when you really watched it, there was a lot of fouling going on, and they sent Boston to the line a lot. And you that can come back and bite you now too. You can't send a good team to the foul line like that and expect them to shoot 50% or less from the foul line, like the Celtics shot. Um, so a lot of good things going on, especially in the NBA. We're up and running. A lot of great topics, and I'm just fired up about this Sixers team. And I also want to throw out there for everyone that didn't see, number one pick 2 years ago from Texas Tech did not dress. It's the same guy that we made a trade for on draft night using the Villanova Bridges kid when we drafted him. Moments later, we trade him for this kid. And now we're the one thing that you hear about the Sixers team now this year is they need shooting. Well, I'm sorry. We would have had that if you didn't trade freaking Bridges out to Phoenix, see him blossom into a good player. And we have this kid opening night. Opening night. Not his rookie year. We're beyond the issues that he had last year. We're now in the year two. You had, again, a whole off season to play. You played in the summer league. And you can't find yourself, not even to get onto the court, you can't find yourself to even put on the uniform. That is a major problem. So everyone here wants to kill the Eagles with their draft selections and who they're not picking. Well, the same case can be made for the 76ers at the same time. Now, they hit on Ben Simmons and they hit on Joel Embiid. Okay? And even though that they signed, their games haven't even blossomed into what they're going to be also. But, okay, we hit on that. But there's been a lot of other draft picks along the way, especially there's a big kid down in New Orleans that just for whatever reason did not pan out and makes you wonder if we should have taken another guy instead and where we would be now if we had. But again, let's just look on at the team that we have now. Let's just bring the focus back to the team, and we look down on that bench, and we're looking for guys that can score and help the starting five out when they need to sub out. And we have a number one draft pick from 2 years ago sitting in street clothes, watching a game, eating popcorn. It's the same kid that can't shoot either. So that's my question to everyone out there. When you look at the Sixers team, where's all the scoring? Not even necessarily scoring. Where's all your shooting going to come from? And then when you start subbing in the bench, who's coming in to offer scoring? Now, you can make the case for Trey Burke, but it gave you nothing opening night. but you can make the case that he can make a shot, he could score a little something. Are we relying on Neto? Furkan, who, by the way, played too many minutes? Uh, Matisse isn't known to be a scorer. Shake Milton, all we heard this summer is, oh, shake, 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 shake. We gave him a new contract too. Gives you nothing. So I think this team is in a dire. They need to, at the trading deadline or before then, they're going to have to bring in someone to help this team out with outside shooting. They really do. Um, but we'll see. Again, it was game one, but I don't think it's going to change from what we saw. They want to play bully ball. They want to play like the old, Detroit Pistons back in the heyday with Ben Wallace when he was playing. That's great, but it's not that generation of basketball no more. The game has evolved, and and we're the one team trying to reinvent the way the game is being played now. I don't understand why. I think it's going to come back to bite us that we're building this with both Embiid and Ben Simmons together. We should have, as an organization, made a decision who we want to build this thing around. Pick one. Is it going to be Joel Embiid or is it going to be Ben Simmons? Whatever that decision is, we have to stick with it and build it that way. This way, the way it's constructed, is not going to work out. Sorry to tell you that. Um, so that's that, and then we'll just jump gears and we'll jump into NFL. And my man Howie Roseman is still sitting on his rear end, not doing anything. I thank you again, Howie, for not helping this team out, not helping them out on the field, and not helping them out mentally. Uh, you have everything to do with the way this season is going right now. The fact that you still haven't made a trade is just remarkable. And the fact that you're now going to go up into Buffalo with a guy at defensive tackle next to Fletcher Cox, who just came off a practice squad for yet another team. He wasn't. We didn't sign the starter or his backup from our own practice squad. No, 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 no. We signed both of these two dudes from two separate NFL teams' practice squads, meaning they weren't even playing for these two teams. And we go ahead and fine, we sign them. That's what teams do with the practice squads. You're taking a gamble, hiding these guys on your practice squad because at any moment another team in the NFL can deal with an injury, and they need to fill a void. Instead of making a trade, they'll just go and pluck a guy off another practice squad and take one of your guys that you were trying to keep for a whole year and develop, and he could be gone in a week. We did that with two defensive tackles this week. Hassan Ridgeway, who's been playing, is now out 6 to 8 weeks, and Akeem Spence was cut. The same guy that we made a trade for with the Miami Dolphins. I just don't get it. So we're rolling up there to Buffalo with a practice squad defensive tackle, and his backup is a practice squad defensive tackle. I have no words for that. And then on top of that, with a linebacker core, with a bunch of young guys, one being undrafted, one being a safety in college, the same guy that, yes, he made a great play. He's had one or two interceptions, fine. Below standard middle linebacker in the NFL. That's what we're playing with. and the guy next to him is an undrafted rookie from Wisconsin. Granted, he was a tackling machine at Wisconsin. I get it, but still undrafted and played one game last week. And how did that look? It's a shame, and then you read the stories and you hear what the whispers are about what some of these trades are, and you hear Nelson's name being mentioned, being thrown to to Arizona with a first round pick for Patrick Peterson. You can't pull that trade off. You can't add to that trade to make it happen. You just allow your first trade offer to be thrown out there with an answer of a no, and you don't even counter it, so that's fine. But then you're going to throw Nelson out to Indianapolis for a fourth round pick, fifth round pick for nothing just to get rid of him. Okay, I'm okay with that as long as you now are going to make the trade with the New York Jets to bring in the guy that you tried to get last year, and Robbie Anderson, and you still can't get yet right now. And then all they're asking for is a second round pick. And they have another guy on their team in Leonard Williams who you could get both of them for a second and a fourth, or a player and maybe a fourth, a player and a fifth. Vitae, Big V. You could throw the Jets Big V and say a third round pick this year and a sixth round pick next year, and you get yourself Robbie Anderson and you get yourself Leonard Williams. That trade should have been done already. And we still haven't made that trade, and we're still sitting on our hands. For what reason? I have no idea. My only answer for you would be is that Howie Roseman and this upper management doesn't think that this team is worth going out and making trades for because it's still not going to be good enough. And if that's the answer, then that's even worse. That's even worse if that is the case, to have your main guy in your management saying, I don't care if I go out there and bring in two guys or three guys, we're still not good enough. That's a major problem. And if you go ahead and you make the trade with the Jets anyway, and you get Robbie Anderson, you get Leonard Williams, you still have room to go ahead and get Chris Harris out of Denver. You can still trade another guy on this roster out to Denver anyway. You could throw them Nelson Aguilar if you had to. You could throw them Sidney Jones in exchange. You could throw them Sidney Jones and say another, say, fourth round, fifth round pick, and you can get Chris Harris in return. So right there you have Chris Harris, you have Robbie Anderson, and you have Leonard Williams. Three guys filling three big roles. Now, granted, they're going to be free agents at the end of the year. So you just gave yourself a harder issue going into next year's offseason with signing free agents. And you would think that you would sign two of the three, because Leonard Williams, you would think that you would re-sign, and Robbie Anderson, you would re-sign because he's young. He's Deshaun Jackson, but younger. So, and then you could always re-sign Chris Harris for a one-year deal. Fine. You're even throwing Ronald Darby out there. Fine. Fine. You could throw him out there in these trades too, to make these trades happen too. You could throw Ronald Darby at the Jets. You could throw Ronald Darby and Vitae at the Jets with a draft pick. Done. You could trade, then you could turn around and you could trade Sidney Jones straight up with another draft pick, a higher one, because you saved yourself the capital and draft picks with the Jets trade. You could throw them, say, a third round pick with Sidney Jones just to take them for Chris Harris. I just don't get it. So it's a shame. So I have no feel for this game with the Buffalo Bills. I said it last week. I'll say it again. This head coach and Sean McDermott had this game circled on his schedule from the moment the NFL schedules came out. He wants nothing more to other than beat the green off the Philadelphia Eagles. And for people out there that know me, you know what I just meant. I kept it PG for it. He wants to beat the green off the Eagles that bad. He still remembers not being given an opportunity to be the head man here in Philly once upon a time. And now you're catching him on his home field with a pretty darn good defense, rolling in there hurt, rolling in there bickering, rolling in there in the Buffalo snitching on each other. You better have this team better have their chin straps buckled because this team's going to be ready to play. You can look at their schedule all you want. You can pick it apart and say the 5 games that they won, they haven't beat anyone. But that's their schedule. So on the flip side is they beat who they were supposed to beat on their schedule. They're still 5-1. They still played the New England Patriots to a good game. They didn't get blown out. But they are ready for this game. And I don't really have a great feeling for our Eagles going up there to Buffalo this weekend. I think it's going to be a long day. And as soon as something goes wrong, this team is so paper thin fragile that they're going to put their heads down, they're going to start bickering on the sideline, and it's going to go down the drain real quick. So I don't trust it. So uh, that's the Eagles right there. Um, and then what else do we have? We have a big slate in college football happening this weekend. Um, I really don't see a lot of teams in the top 10 losing this week. Probably won't see it this weekend. So it should be a quiet. There's some good games, but it should be a quiet weekend on the upsets this weekend. That might calm down for a week. Um, Alabama, though, is one to watch, especially with Tua being out. I'm real interested in seeing how this kid plays in replacement of Tua. But I would imagine that Saban's going to keep it nice and simple and won't make this kid have to make that many big time throws, and he'll just allow his playmakers and his defense to win this game. Basically, get in and get out. Try to get in this game and out of this game as quick as possible. He probably won't care how big of a margin of a victory it is this weekend. A win is going to be a win this weekend, and then you get Tua back. So that's just one game to keep an eye on. And then college basketball season is here. It's teams are playing, they're scrimmaging still, and again, it's a great time for if you love sports. You have all these sports going on, especially you have the World Series now going on. So it's a great time. So I just want to say thank you again to DeLorean Hurd for taking time out for the interview the other day. I want to say thank you. Thank you to Coach Burke for allowing me to come down into your facility, pull your assistant away for a couple minutes. So thank you as well. Thank you to everyone at Wilmington for their hospitality and allowing me to come down there and shooting an interview live there at your sports complex. It was a great facility, beautiful facility. Again, for everyone that hasn't seen it, please make your way down to Wilmington. Go see the sports complex. It's pretty darn nice. If I was younger and if I wanted to stay local, that would be one place that I would have on my list possible of where I would want to go. You know, outside the fields were nice. The basketball gym is nice. I mean, great. You can make your own coffee there as well, so that was even a plus. So thank you again, and then we will have another round of interviews coming. Uh, I'm just working out specifics um, with those individuals. We have the individuals locked in. We're just working out specifics, making sure that we have the yeses that we need from certain people to make this all happen. So I'm literally waiting for a phone call or a text to give me the go ahead. And then, interviews are going to be shooting through real soon again. So thank you again. Thank you for joining your favorite barista for breakfast this morning. And again, coming to you live and uncut and as always, unfiltered. And again, till next time, enjoy your cup of coffee.